2010 found out that there was actually a Linux-based server emulator for it, so I got it and we set up a server for it. We also have Guns, which is going to be a private server of the game named Guns that Mayette made. You might also know it as IJJI Guns, or well, I'm not really sure what they called IJJI's version of it, but there was iGuns, which is the international version. There's nothing custom for those two servers yet at the moment, but we're planning on adding some custom stuff eventually. Then we have our Lineage 2 server, and right now we do have one kind of custom NPC. It's just a test NPC, but I've been working on trying to add in some quests and stuff, but I haven't really been working on it lately because it's inactive, or we've labeled it as inactive because we have all this other stuff to work on. But all three of those servers are not up right now. Neither is GOR or O at the moment. They're all inactive projects. We're not working on them currently. And that really covers all the stuff that we're working on. You should, if you're one of our YouTube viewers, you should be pretty familiar with the single-player recording series. We just basically go through. We're going to basically just go through a bunch of games. I have like 300 games on Steam that I'm going to be going through and making walkthroughs for, or until YouTube closes my account because I have too many videos, whichever comes first. Just basically go through, record them, and then what I do with going to be doing with all the games, which other people either can't do or won't do, is record them in such a way that I can either render them out just in pure 1920 by 1080, or upscale them to 1920 by 1080, so that I can post them on YouTube as HD videos. And I'm doing all of my walkthroughs in HD. Not true HD, let me say, but it's the screen resolution of HD, the 1920 by 1080. But it's not really HD. It's the YouTube definition of it. Because real HD has to do also with the texture sizes and all that stuff, so it's not really real HD in most cases. There are some games that might have HD in them though. But our games will range from just basically any system, PC, PS3, PS2, PlayStation, Super Nintendo, just any kind of game that you can imagine. We will be doing recordings for, walkthroughs for, through emulators. And that's basically all the projects that we have at the moment. I'll be including links throughout these videos in the description to all of our websites that we are on. Our Facebook page, our blog, forums, our website, the ModDB page for Blackman Productions, our Steam community page, as well as I guess we do have a MySpace page, but we're trying to phase that out, so I won't include that. But I'll include links to all those pages throughout all the videos for this vlog. But we are a group that is dedicated to improving games by adding adding custom content or creating custom stories for games that have been made. Really, our goals could be considered crazily ambitious, but I feel that there has to be some groups out there that want to push the boundaries of what game players and other people consider to be the norm, the average. There has to be some groups that are pushing that perspective of what's normal and what's not normal. And our goal is to be one of those groups. We want to be one of the groups that's pushing things further than other groups have, to take on more larger numbers of projects and more difficult projects than we probably should be doing. But that's basically what Lifeman Productions is, and that's all of our different projects that we're working on. Feel free to follow us on Facebook, on Steam, on our YouTube account. Feel free to subscribe and rate the video. Feel free to track us on ModDB. One of the other things that our group, just let me mention it right now, is dedicated to is taking user input and incorporating it into our games. For instance, if you tell us that you really don't like something on, say, Half-Life 2 on Combat Insurrection, say you really don't like an idea we have. Like, we have a puzzle that's crazy hard, and we get enough feedback that says we need to make it easier. We'll actually make it easier. We will change that part of the game because you suggested it. Not every group out there that makes mods and stuff like that will do that, but we want to be highly receptive to user comments on our projects. If you read some of the descriptions on our ModDB page and comments to some of our news posts, you'll see that. You'll see how people are commenting about how we actually incorporate their suggestions into our mapping, and that they're kind of impressed by that. So that's what we're aiming for. That's what we're moving towards. We want to make sure that our followers and our players are very involved in what we do, and not all the groups do that. That's just another aspect of us wanting to push the envelope on what's considered to be normal practices for game developers and modders and what have you. Because as it is, it's really kind of the game industry is kind of stagnant at the moment. Sure, there's good games coming out, but the games that are coming out, the rest of the games that are coming out that are just average or less than average, and the developers that are making them sometimes and usually don't take a lot of the critique that players have incorporated into their games. Like, if the player says that there's a section of the map that doesn't look very good, like a large section of it, so like an entire section of the map that looks pretty bad, they might not go back in and remap that part. They might just say, well, you got to deal with it. But we would go back in and change it. And we'll even do this even after we've released the game. If you have a suggestion after we released our games, we'll go back there and we'll see if we can edit it in such a way to incorporate your suggestions and release an update. We're not just going to, make a game and then leave it hanging. Like, for instance, what's a really old game that's not supported anymore? Like some of the really old games that only run with like the DOS box kind of hack, that you can run DOS in that window and it loads up the game. Our games won't be like that. We'll continue to support them as long as Lifeman Productions is around. And we'll continue making updates as long as we're around. That does have some limitations, We're not going to keep updating games until they're like 100 gigabytes in size. If it's even possible to get that high. Like, for example, GRO, we're pretty much getting towards the end of the development for it. It's really getting time-consuming to have to rework on all the stuff. Like, if we do a drastic change, like we recently had to do, we had to go through and re-ID all of the items, so we have to change every NPC in the game. All of our custom items, let me rephrase that. And we have to change all of our custom NPCs that use those item IDs so that they'll produce the right items. And so, like, we might at some point decide, the game's got enough custom content that we won't continue adding items to it, or we won't continue making really adverse changes. But there might be some games that we do, like Space Crusade. Space Crusade I'm planning just to, continue adding content indefinitely for. just to enhance the gameplay. Since it's going to be entirely open-ended, there's going to have to be a lot of stuff for you, the players, to do after you've beaten the game. Like, if you just beat the game, then, you know, you have another 50 hours of gameplay, and then, like, let's say you've exhausted, at that point, you've exhausted all the names for planets, then you can't, excuse me, then you can't bomb any more planets, because you've already destroyed them all. And that's one of the things I'm going to try to alleviate by making these constant updates. I'm going to go ahead and stop now, because I've been going for about an hour and a half now with this. I think I've covered enough about what our group is about that you get the general idea. If you want more information, though, you can check out our forums or the wiki page that we have for more information about our projects. The wiki page is still really being worked on. The only really the most developed projects are the SPRS pages and also GRO. The other projects listed on there aren't really don't really have that much up on there yet. But thanks for watching these videos. If you have any questions for me, feel free to comment, put them in the comments, or to message me through YouTube's messaging system. Feel free to rate the videos and to subscribe to our channel. And I look forward to maybe making another series of videos sometime later in the future. Maybe once some of our other projects are done, or maybe when we decide to take on new ones, something like that. Well, this is GOL, and I'll see you all later.